Ka election chiteng samoy hai ki lightly ki constituency kata ka maurang kneng mauplang barat jabala kelakot do menta ka janmet ka laipo trik risau hagani ki election chiteng samoy ka jingpoi ki balai Nongthep vote Haduh ka pos san baje janmet ka long prapo point saw pulai percent haboro ki lightly ki constituency kat kum ka jingetho u chief electoral officer CEO uba Frederick R Kharkongor naka prapo point saw pulai percent balayo lum jingkeng Lakmilinti bakanang kiu shushu namar kumba arpotli ki polling station ampat chimlala banyo jingkhain satya. Ulai thu bahadu kapor san baji janmit ka jingpoi jong ki Nongthep vote kalong marung kineng nyopusau point rup khandai percent mauplang nyopusan point khandai nyo percent par ka raja bala khandai po point ruplai percent. Ula pentep bahag ni election ki belami banlet thep vote ki kentop nadu ki recruitment bat ki belang shuyo thep vote hagasin ka beningkong hakaba la penbiang ru ye ki la jingeda da ki disposable gloves bat ki hand sanitizer usiyo ulai thu bahag ni election ki don brutally ki kor vvpat ki belathot hakaba lala ban kliang no ula pentep bagi vvpat ki belaha ban kliang ki dei artli hamoplang ko bai hamaru kneng ban lightly hapor raja bala Uba Kharkongor ula ongru bakatanat election kala penbiang ya kibor pahara hagi jaka bobun ki kor thep vote ki ban sanyo haka artrik unai wing usiyo lai thuru bagi don chispa andropo pratli ki polling station but shilak 8000 ruspa knaip sangot ki Nongthep vote haboro lightly ki constituency la ban penpau bagi kertong ki bekhon ye election chiteng samoy ha ki lightly ki constituency ki don boro khalaingut bakunthop marsangut na marukneng baraja bala par laingut ki kertong na mauplang
polls in the three constituencies of Marukneng, Mauplang and Rajabala have been conducted smoothly. Of course, we still are awaiting the full reports from a few of the polling stations. But as per the 5 p.m. report, the polling percentage stands at 74.69 for Marukneng, 75.97 for Mauplang, and 90.63 for Rajabala. Of course, we are still waiting for the information from a few of the polling stations in Ri Khasi Jaintia district. I'm covering both. Covering both Mauplang as well as Marukneng. During the polls, we saw a good and enthusiastic participation from both the senior citizens, the middle-aged, and also the first-time voters. In fact, some of the first-time voters also received the first-time voter certificates, and also we'd like to share with you that the COVID-19 arrangements were also in place in all the polling stations. We had the nodal health workers, and also there was use of all the various COVID-19 accessories like hand gloves, like those disposable gloves to press the EVM, as well as sanitizers outside the polling stations, and also a thermal scanner, and also to a large extent social distancing was also maintained to a large extent. Coming to the machines, we had very negligible malfunction. Only 6 VVPATs had to be changed. 3 in Ri Khasi Jaintia district and 3 in Rajabala. So 2 in Mauplang and 1 in Marukneng. So almost a very negligible rate of machine malfunction this time. And this time we have used the M3 variety of the EVMs, and the machines that were changed also and that were malfunctioning were the VVPATs, not the CU and the BU. Wherever there was a malfunction, the quick response team was there to get those machines changed. Apart from that, we are now getting ready for the counting once all the polling stations come back, once we get the final figures. And I would like to inform you that there were total 168 polling stations that went into the polls today, and with an electorate of about 1,02,695. So we are expecting that the polling percentage will go up because these are only the 5 p.m. figures. We are expecting that the polling percentage will go up once we get the final figures from about less than 20 polling stations. So once we get these final figures, I'm sure that the polling percentages will also go up. So this in brief is the overall report of the polling that was held today. It's fixed on the 2nd. It will start at 8 a.m. in the morning, and because of the COVID-19 protocols, there will be 7 tables per round. In the normal times, in the pre-pandemic times, it used to be more than that. But this time, because of the social distancing and the COVID-19 situation, there will be only 7 tables per round. And we have 3 counting halls. One at Tura, at the Smelsi, at the building next to the Smelsi Center. And we have the other 2 counting halls at the JN Stadium here in Shillong. And there will be also randomly selected 5 VVPAT machines will be selected randomly for counting of the paper slips. So that will also be done under the supervision of the observer, and also he will be assisted by the micro observers. And we will also have the entire process under webcasting. So that arrangement is already there. About the security arrangements, Mr. Reddy will just brief.
Regarding the security, all the polling stations, they are bringing the EVMs to the strong rooms. Today, by night, we will confine them in the strong room at Tura, as well as Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, Shillong. And they are guarded by a 2-layer security at Tura, 1 platoon of CRPF, 2 platoons of state police forces will be guarding at Tura. And similarly, there is a 3-layer security at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, 1 company of central paramilitary forces, 2 platoons of state armed forces, and 1 platoon of 3rd layer of state armed forces are guarding, they will be guarding the EVMs once they are put in the strong room. And as sir said, on the day of counting on 2nd, we are ready with the arrangements regarding the traffic for frisking and checking of the candidates, their representatives during the counting, so that no problem appears. And we also made arrangement for escorting of the winning candidates from the counting center to their residence.
The number of ballot units doesn't go beyond 1, because in 1 you have 16 candidates. But this is useful for those other states where they have a huge number of candidates. Then the most important thing is this unauthorized access detection module, UADM. So this UADM is a protective circuit which is embedded into the M3. So in case of any unauthorized attempt to do any tampering or to make access into the microcontroller or the memory, this UADM, it will automatically put this M3 machine into factory mode. That means it will be reset. So any effort to do any tampering will wipe out the entire data, and it will go into reset or into factory mode. So this is a very important feature which is there. Then of course it has a strong mutual authentication capability for all components of the EVM, such as BU, CU and VVPAT. So they have a mutual authentication between all 3 components, the BU, the CU as well as the VVPAT, and this gives us a superior security feature. So these are the essential differences. There are other more technical differences, but this is the most essential differences that are there. And this UADM is a very important feature because any one who tries to tamper, it will go to reset mode. That were as per the guidelines of the Election Commission for conducting elections during the COVID-19, all those had been maintained. So a few cases there could have been, which we will again discuss with the DCs, but I think those are the exception, not the rule. We always take cognizance of. The first priority is the free and fair polling, safe polling. So we always take cognizance of whatever apprehensions are there, and from the police also, when we had a review meeting with the DC and the SPs 2 days ago. It was informed that all the law and order arrangements would be, tightened, like long-range patrolling, LRPs, area domination, intensive surveillance. So all these steps were duly taken by the police, and I think that also is to instill confidence in the hearts and minds of the voters. For the victory procession, again, there are new guidelines which are in place, and we will be sharing with you on the group. So similar restrictions will be there. It will be not the same as in the pre-pandemic time. So we will be sharing with you on the group by tomorrow evening or by Monday. 4-3. So this is likely to go up because we are still yet to get report from about less than 20 polling stations. So we anticipate that the polling figures, especially in Ri Khasi Hills, it will go up.
So,
we are aware of that. So at Lat Moring, the polling is still going on, and as per the report of the DC, all measures are being taken to ensure that all those who are in the queue will be able to exercise their franchise. So that is one of the polling stations that we are still awaiting, apart from a few others. Yeah, in 2018, the polling percentage for Maurangkneng was 85.50, for Mauplang it was 88.68, and for Rajabala it was 93.39. We had about 29 polling stations which were vulnerable under Rajabala, but as per the reports we have received, there was no untoward incident, and polling went on very smoothly. From the law and order point of view, polling was very peaceful, and there was enthusiastic participation from the voters, as I just mentioned, from senior citizens, from the young first-time voters, as well as the younger adults. The polling went off very enthusiastically, and as just mentioned by one of your colleagues, large queues have been seen in almost all polling stations. So that has been, in fact, that complaint came, I think, in Tura from the Congress, and prompt action was taken by the Deputy Commissioner and also by the returning officer. They immediately issued an order to all the sector officers and all the presiding officers to prohibit the use of mobile phones. In fact, when we were doing webcasting, when we saw that one of the presiding officers had inadvertently brought the mobile phone, in fact, instructions were given by members of my team to the presiding officer that is not allowed, and that was complied.